Good day, Ruskin enjoyers. I hope you're doing alright, because it's time for the 48-hour analysis. Yes, just 2 days ago, all of these skins rotated into the Rust store, and in this video, we're going to track their progress. We're going to look at how many sales have happened, and we're going to go over whether these skins potentially might still be perfectly fine investments. We'll also talk about whether some skins we weren't so sure about potentially might have had some changes, which might encourage us to want to invest into them. You know, you get the whole idea. It's basically just a quick analysis of some progress, and we'll just either double down or maybe start to consider stepping away certain skins in terms of what might have happened, if that makes sense. A bit of a ramble there, but let's just jump straight in. So what we're currently looking at is actually the first 24 hours of sales. So if you were to look in the description of this video, you'll see a whole bunch of social media links that I have for myself, and if you consider looking at my Twitter, every now and then I'm going to post something in regards to the Rust economy, and every single week I will post the first 24 hours of sales based on what we can see on scmm.app. So let's just take a good look at this. Brutalist sheet metal door, even though it sells for $4 a piece, did 9,500 bare minimum sales after 24 hours. Just to point out, subscriber count would be bare minimum sales. That means at least 9,500 people bought the skin. However, you cannot tell how many they bought. Some people very likely might have bought maybe 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 or 100. Some maybe even probably bought 1,000, who knows? But we can still track based on bare minimum sales. So yeah, clearly that's doing very nicely. Clearly a lot of people have a lot of faith in it. So that's nice to see. But then you can also take a look at the likes of the Thundergold boots and gloves. They're holding up quite nicely. Boots selling more than gloves by 1,000, but then again 99 cents, $1.99. That's not too hard to understand. And even Desert Beast bandanas holding up quite nicely as well. So that was the first 24 hours of sales. Let's go take a look and see how it's looking like after 48 hours of sales. Now I should just quickly point this out. I am recording this a little bit earlier, about an hour earlier, but it still holds up. And as you can see, Brutalist sheet metal door hasn't actually sold that much more. Yeah, that rhymed, sorry. But yeah, as you can see with the likes of this, that right there is starting to slow down a fair bit. Now, how many sales is this likely going to end up at? I'm comfortable to sit here and say we're going to probably surpass 20,000 sales. But if we don't match up to the likes of the garage door, does that mean the sheet metal door is potentially going to be in some trouble? I don't think so. If anything, if it sells less, it actually means that as time goes on, you know, when we get the go away privacy, when we get the likes of many people returning to playing the game in December, when they see the likes of this, I'm pretty confident a lot of people won't initially realise what this is, and once word spreads around and they see it for themselves in game and whatnot, they're going to think, damn, I need that. And then you're going to see them being bought out from the Steam market. So think like this. We don't even have the maximum potential people we'd normally see playing Rust at the moment. And when everybody is playing, what are these two skins going to look like in terms of their price? Now, we've already seen the garage door start to rise up in price recently at the likes of the sheet metal door being accepted. As you can see right here, it's now pushing above $6. Very nice for that. But does this mean that we're going to definitely see another skin being made? Look, at the end of the day, this did 30,000 sales almost. This is pushing up to at least 20,000 sales, even though they both sold at $4. I wouldn't be surprised if Duck, the skin creator, wants to make another one. I wouldn't be surprised if Face Punch would want to have more profits. It's not too hard to understand, is it? Yes, these skins are pay to win. If I were to just quickly grab this and show you this video, once again, thank you to Mr. Micro. Get a good look at this video, look at how much transparency this sheet metal door has. And that right there, that's ridiculous. You have transparency not only at head height, sort of, but you also have it in the door handle area, and depending what side of the door you're on, in the bottom left or right. Now, we should also point out, other people on the other side, they're going to be able to see through it as well. But you don't always have to have that door always active. You could have a spray can. If you're just about to walk out, you know, the airlock, you might think, you know what? I think I might need to just be a little bit cautious. You quickly get the spray can out, you put on the Brutalist sheet metal door, you see someone door camping you. You spray it again, you walk off, you're not going outside for a while. But that's where it's helpful. But pay to win. Very pay to win. So not only is it transparent, it's also glow in the dark. That's fairly ridiculous. And you might be sitting there and thinking, you know what? We're probably never going to see another door skin like this ever again. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if in the future, around 2024 time, we end up seeing a bombshell sheet metal door like this as well. If you can remember of all the previous bombshell skins, we've had many doors over the past year or so, and they've all had transparency, and they've all had glow-in-the-dark as well. So, I'm just saying, wouldn't be surprised. We literally just had the bombshell sheet metal double door fairly recently. What's stopping TGG requesting a single sheet metal door with transparency and glow-in-the-dark? So, something for you to consider. But, yeah, down the line, is this going to be unmatched, I guess you could say? Is anything going to oppose this for the next few months? No. You're not going to see another bombshell sheet metal door skin. No, you're not going to see any bombshell skin for at least another couple months. So for now, especially during post-Christmas momentum, that Brutalist sheet metal door is uncontested. And when loads of people jump in to play the game again, okay. So if anything, the bombshell skin potentially could be out maybe by January or February. So take that into consideration. But by then, you probably sold a bunch of these already. So I don't blame you. Okay, so with the looks of the sales and whatnot, is it okay to potentially jump in and buy now? I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I kind of think it is. Yeah, I think you could. Now, again, if you want to be extra safe and be 100% sure everything's going to be all right, wait until Wednesday. Do the abnormal buy orders. Look at it afterwards, then make an approach if you want to actually jump in and buy it. But I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be pushing up to $4, especially with what just happened to the garage door. So, yeah. And then, again, when you compare it to all the other sheet metal doors that came out this year, no other door has this. No other door has this, all right? And yeah, you can sit there and say, but, hey, all the sheet metal doors that came out this year, they're not doing too good. Oh, no. Well, look, none of them have transparency. None of them. None of them special like this. Like, honestly, for the longest time, a skin like this would have been thought to have been like impossible to have been accepted. Like Face Punch is definitely getting lenient. That's the best way I can say it. Like, it's not the first time I've seen a transparent sheet metal door being submitted, but most of the time they were, rejected. But not this time. No. Now we have this one being accepted. So, okay, cool. And then there's also another thing I should point out. With this being, added to the game, what's stopping a content creator asking a skin creator, hey, can I get a Twitch drop made? Can I have a sheet metal door transparency exactly like this one? Look what happened with Blizzard ID's double sheet metal door that came out not too long ago. So let's just hop over to here to SCMM's item section. And if we were to look at all the most recent skins to be added to Rust, you will find Blizzard ID's double sheet metal door somewhere down here. Oh no, it's on page 2. Yeah, so do you remember the double sheet metal door skin that we had? There it is. Yeah, so if you can remember, shut up phone, if you can remember, this had transparency and glow in the dark. And it had a massive gap. Do you remember the amount of space that you could see through on this? Yeah, you remember now, don't you? So that was ridiculous. What's stopping a content creator asking for a single sheet metal door version or something like this? So they know people will want it, and they know people will watch them on their Twitch streams to be able to get it. So, right. So at the end of the day, things are looking very nice for this. I can sit here and say I haven't noticed any single sheet metal door transparent doors being submitted as a Twitch drop over the past couple days. So for the meantime, this is going to be uncontested at least until January time. So everything's lining up quite nice for this, but we should probably move on now. So I can sit here and say I am confident. So let's move on. Thundergold boots and gloves. So with the amount of sales that we're currently seeing, which, it's not like bad, it's perfectly fine. But when we make comparisons to the likes of the other white boots that we have, so we've got whiteout boots, we've got comics boots, you name it, it's all there. Well, this did bare minimum 29,000 sales. This did bare minimum 65,000 sales. This right here at the moment only has bare minimum 12,000 sales. So where's this potentially going to end up at? Probably just about over 20,000 sales, which actually would line up very perfectly with the tier 3 armor. So that would be probably the expected, point where it ends up at, and would be perfectly fine. If this matches up perfectly with the likes of this, all of these will be very nicely, the prices will be all the same. You remember the weird issue we had with the likes of, do you remember what we had with Abyss collection. Do you remember when we compared like all the core pieces with each other? On average, the hoodie and pants had like 14,000 bare minimum sales. Tier 2 had like 16,000 bare minimum sales. And then Tier 3 has like 27,000 bare minimum sales. There's too much Tier 3 compared to all of the other stuff. And, well, that's why it's the least expensive, yeah. So stupid things can happen like that. But with the expectation of the amount of sales we're going to see for the likes of this and this, it's going to match up very nicely with the likes of the Tier 3 armour. And hopefully in the future, the hoodie and pants in Tier 2, if they were to be accepted, will line up perfectly as well. But again, I also should show off the road sign gloves, because look at how many sales we have for the comics gloves, 25,000 bare minimum. And what about the whiteout gloves? 50,000 bare minimum sales. Yeah, these, both of these skins are looking to be the lowest selling out of all of the white-coloured boots and glove skins that we've had in the past. Yes, I know, in regards to boots, you do have, like, Glory, and you do have, there's another one I can't remember, No Mercy, that's it. But if everything works out all right for the likes of this collection, if we do see the likes of Tier 2 being accepted, which would be, most welcome, and if hoodie and pants are made as well and get accepted, that would be most welcome, everything is looking to be perfectly fine. So, by default, purely based on the expected sales, I do expect both of these at bare minimum to retain their value. Will they rise up in price by default, even if we don't see any more Thundergold clothing and armour skins during the likes of January time? Yes, I do expect it to still rise up in price. I can see many people looking at this, looking at Tier 3 armour, appreciating it, and prices go up fairly nicely through December, into January, maybe even February. Post-Christmas can last a long time. So everything is lining up still very nicely, the likes of this, and with the amount of sales that it's going to end up at, it's looking like it's going to end up with less than both comics and whiteout, all the better for these to rise up in price. Now, boots are not abnormal. We've already acknowledged this, haven't we? But even then, I think it's still going to be perfectly fine with the likes of the Thundergold road sign gloves. I think we're probably pushing up to $2, guys. I mean, even right now, we just got out of the worst of times in regards to the rust skins. Comics gloves are still sitting at around $2. This had quite a lot of sales, but it still managed to hold on. So I fully expect this to hold on very nicely. And in, over the course of the next couple months, this very likely could potentially at least go up by 50%. So I'm looking forward to it. So based on what I see here, I think it's perfectly comfortable in the position that they're currently in. They're going to end up at about 20,000 sales. Everything should work out perfectly fine. I'm going to still, approach this with my abnormal barter first, but even I'm looking at this and thinking, you know what, maybe I want to jump in and do some extra sales. And yeah. So, yeah, I'm probably going to actually jump in and do a purchase on the gloves. Boots, I'm still a fair bit hesitant about, especially with the consideration in regards to whiteout boots. I did talk about that during my Rust rotation and predictions videos, but I kind of still see it working out perfectly fine. I do expect more Thundergold to be accepted, so, you can expect things to happen. It doesn't always happen that way. Right. Desert, Beast, Bandana, and Poncho. So, the main thing that I said in regards to this collection, or, this brand new collection you can point out, is we need to find out what's happening next. So, if you were to go to the workshop page, has anybody asked the skin creator, Mr. 19J, hey, are you going to be continuing this? So we're going to see some more? I can't read that, so skill issue. Let's go to the next page. Did anybody ask? Hey, going to make a continuation? Nope. Okay, so that's not helpful, is it? Oh, dear. Now, we did kind of briefly speak to Mr. 19J, and he does intend to want to continue it. He just doesn't have a good idea on what he wants to do as of now, which can be awkward. And seeing the current state of the Rust skins at the moment, if people don't instantly see confirmation that there's going to be more to it, they give up pretty quickly. And, remember what I say? Always keep in check with your buy orders, because you never know what you're going to be randomly buying. Spiderweb rug. I might need to remove my buy order for that now, because it's just dropping down too quickly. Awkward. Yep, I know. I'm fully well aware of all of these silly things. So yeah, I'm definitely questioning the poncho, unfortunately, because with the amount of ponchos that we've had over the course of the past 2 years, you can clearly see there's quite an abundance, and there's not many of them in the positive. So yeah, very, very, very awkward. But if we do see on the workshop continuations, which at the moment I can't currently see, then yeah, I would feel a whole lot more confident. This is the reason why I'm never rushing into anything. So, with a potential brand new primitive collection, I'd rather just wait it out. Look at bandanas as well. How are they holding up? But this one's doing good. And why? Because it has a full collection. Also made by Y9J, by the way. So yeah, that has like hide pants, hide shirt, poncho, hide boots. It's got everything, basically, pirate collection in regards to primitive skins. But this is absolutely brand new. So I think I'm probably just going to stick with doing a barter on that. But if I do see a continuation appear over the course of the next couple of days, maybe hide clothing, I'd be eager to see what happens next. But for now, I'm thinking I'm just going to stick with doing a buy order. And of course, I'm going to do that Wednesday night. So, okay. Hey, storage. I have nothing against this. I think it's perfectly goofy, but perfectly sensible in its own way as well. I can see many role-playing farmers instantly wanting to pick this up. I wonder why. But in general, for a skin like this, is that going to be, is that going to be high in demand for everybody? Maybe. It is goofy, but it's not too goofy. It's hay. What else is there to say? But basically, I just can't imagine it's going to instantly become super profitable. When I look at this, at the current rate, it's probably going to do about 12,000 sales. Let's look at all the small box skins that we've had this year. And what do we see? Well, this did 24,000, this did just under 11,000, this did just under 20,000. I'm looking at bare minimum sales, by the way. 8,500 bare minimum sales, just under 19,000 bare minimum sales. Yeah. These aren't holding up very nicely, are they? Awkward. Twigbox was one thing I immediately tried to make a comparison to. I guess you could say it's somewhat similar. Twigbox is now negative 64%. That's not good, is it? That is not good. So I am very cautious with this, but very, very, very thankfully, this is abnormal. So we could do our abnormal barters first, then make considerations if we want to jump in and actually buy it. But at the moment, I'm not super confident everybody wants the likes of this skin. So I'm going to leave it for a bit longer, but with the amount of sales that I'm currently seeing, I'm not seeing that much demand. So I am questioning it even more and more and more. So fair bit awkward. Sorry for playing my nose, it's starting to pay up. Sorry about this. All right, so yeah, let's wait until what we see in regards to the abnormal barter support. Soulless Legion Bow. So this is a perfectly fine bow skin. The problem is we've just had far too many bow skins in such a short amount of time. For both Halloween weeks, we had a bow skin. One of them being a glow-in-the-dark bow skin. So that was somewhat special. But someone did point this out, and I will, give my props to it. This is actually a very cool-looking bow skin. Mr. Verona has been very successful with his skin submissions over the past couple of years, and you can see some very nice quality pieces of work with the likes of all of this. And this bow skin, you can see with all the nice sheen, the details of the gold trim and whatnot, that does look good. I will give him props for that. But again, take a look at all the bow skins, and what do you see? Awkwardness. Not a single bow skin that came out this year is currently in the positive. What about last year? Neither that either. What about the year before? Comic Bow's holding up quite nicely. People do like to use it in the snow environments and whatnot with their full whiteout. I'm just being silly, but yeah. Whiteout, or rather, comic skins, weapon skins do tend to sell very nicely, so that's getting help based on its actual collection, but even then, pure white bow, I think a lot of people would appreciate that. And, some of these collection bows, they're not down too bad, like Rainbow Pony's only down by 7%, Tempered Bow's only down by 8%. Look at these skins in 2 months' time, maybe a whole lot more of them are going to be in the positive. So maybe Soulless Legion's going to be one of them. But with 6,000 bare minimum sales at the moment, after 2 days, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, that's going to probably end up between maybe 10 to 12,000 sales potentially. Yeah, that's my expectation. So maybe that doesn't sound too much to you, but a lot of bows sell that much. And a lot of bows right now aren't doing too good. So awkward. But one thing I guess I should take a look at is how much quantity does each bow have in the Steam market? So Pumpkin Bow has 5. Okay. Zombo has 40, Chemical Burn Bow has 17, Panther Bow has 20, Root Bow has 42. Wait, hang on a minute. Let's go take a look at some of these skins. Are they really that low? 24, 17, 21. Damn. All right. Well, they got like next to no quantity. but all of it's below their Rustore price. Hey, okay, you know what? There's no better indicator other than that to point out that people don't seem to care too much in regards to bow skins. So, okay, yeah, I'm not that confident then. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm probably just going to stick with doing a buy order. Now, that's abnormal. So, we could do abnormal buy orders first. We could look at the support afterwards. That should be perfectly fine. But, yeah, bow skins. Not all the rage at the moment, awkwardly. Let's now take a look at the likes of the Armegeddon SAR. Hello, hello, hello. Right, so, remember the AK-47 that came out quite some time back? Looked very cool. Sold at $2.49. I said, you know what? I rated it a lot, but because it was an AK, I expected it to suffer. Look what's happened. It suffered. It's barely over $1. Very awkward. Now we have an Armegeddon SAR. So, let's just go get a good look at this. Because, number one, that's a very good looking skin. So this is made by Schumer and Oasis. This right here, that looks nice. Aim down the sight, what do we see? A very nice, cool looking design here. Red aim sight, very useful. But even then, I'm still a fair bit worried, I'm afraid to say. Whilst the skin looks really nice, go take a look at all the SAR skins that came out this year. And this is where you have to be a little bit hesitant. Because, number one, there's a lot of skins that are accepted this year. Oh, yes, there was. Look at that. Look at all of that. And the vast majority of them have not held up that well. Some of them are only down a fair bit. Some of them are part of notable collections, which is helping them stay up a nice bit. But this right here, I can sit there and say, I like the design. I think it looks very nice. But I also like the AK design. And I just had to accept reality, knowing that you're very likely going to see that in a negative as well. How low will it go? I don't expect it to go all the way down to $1. But I do expect it to go down. Now, I can see this returning to its Rustore price and maybe a fair bit above around January time. The amount of sales that we're currently seeing doesn't look like it's going to be too hard for it to rise back up in price. So again, I do expect it to go a fair bit below its Rustore price of $2, but I can see it going back up again. Now let's just remind ourselves, how many did the AK sell? How much quantity? The AK did 9,500 bare minimum sales, so even then it went down. But there's only 43 on the Steam market. Maybe we see some more Armageddon skins. It might maybe improve a little bit, but yeah, I'm probably sticking with doing a buy order. But I don't think it's going to be a 70 cent to 90 cent buy order. I'll at least point that out. So we'll see how things turn out. Here we have another AK. Congratulations to JJ in getting his second ever skin accepted. But yeah, people are tired of AKs, unfortunately. We've had far too many being accepted this year. Let me just show you how many have been accepted, and then let me just put it into context. So, we've had 28 AK-47s accepted for Rustores this year. This doesn't include the charitable Rust one, which was in the Rustore, but you can't see it here. So, technically speaking, 29. Guys, we still have like 8 weeks of this year left. So, in theory, we've probably had 44 weeks so far this year, haven't we? 28 of those weeks had an AK-47 being accepted. Do you understand the problem with AK-47 skins? We get far too many of them being accepted. There's far too many options to pick from. And that is why, typically, by default, the vast majority of them will suffer. Kiss AR stands out, so this sells at a much higher price. This is part of a notable collection. Chameleon's down a little bit, but it will go back up again, so that will be improving. But yeah, look at all of them if you can. I made a big fuss about this a good couple days ago. 28 skins here, 18 of them are below $1. So when I look at this, I unfortunately can expect the same for that. Will this potentially turn into a collection? Maybe, but JJ doesn't get a ton of skins accepted, so there is a bit of awkwardness with that. But with the sheer lack of sales, maybe it might rebound and maybe it might get manipulated or something. Who knows? But I'm being a little bit more honest with you. I look at this and I think, yeah, it's not going to hold up. It's very unfortunate. Yeah. So. Unfortunately, this probably is just going to end up being a 70 cent to 90 cent buy order. There's no other way of talking about it. You saw how many AKs were accepted this year, and we're going to see even more being accepted. Oh, I guarantee it. we're definitely going to get a Christmas one. We're definitely going to get one accepted again during the month of November. So, yeah. Sorry, JJ, but yeah, I'm looking at this with a financial perspective. I've got to point out where I do think there's going to be, safety with investments and problems with investments. So, awkward. Sorry, but yeah, 70 cents, 90 cent buy order. Lowpoly Thompson. Right, so in my predictions video, I pointed out that I could potentially see this doing quite all right, simply due to the fact that, number one, Thompsons are one of the most used weapons in the game. That's something we know. It's not too hard to understand. And in regards to that, the skins tend to do very, very nicely. But this year, we did see quite a lot of Thompson skins not only being accepted, but given away for free. So this is where problems are starting to become more prevalent to me. But even then, we're starting to see quite a lot of them go back up in price already. So during October, all of these are in the negative. It was not looking good. And then now, look at it. Ooh, skin prices are starting to go back up again, aren't they? So, earlier this year, around May time, I stood here with confidence and I said, you know what? Thompsons are probably the way to go. Everything should work out very nicely for it. And you should consider investing into them, because around post-Christmas time, everybody returns to play the game. Everybody likes to jump in and buy out Thompsons, because of course, Thompson skins, because of course they love using their Thompsons. They want some skins. There's justification in wanting to use skins, if that makes sense to you. So we're already starting to see it starting to go back up again. Ooh. But we do have to talk about the likes of the Lowpoly Thompson more specifically, because when you look at the collections it's part of, yeah, that is not in demand. And then you look at its actual design. Is this something that appeals to you? Because it's not colourful, It's more of like a gimmick. And I don't say that in a bad way. It's walked in with a style approach, I guess you could say. And, well, I can't imagine that's going to be super appealing to everybody. Nothing wrong with it, The skin creator walked in with a different approach, and they got rewarded for it, They came up with something more unique, and, well, here we are. This is what we have. And I'll be honest with you, I can still see it returning back to its Rustore price. With the amount of sales that we're currently looking at, this is probably only going to do maybe about 7,000, 8,000 sales. When you make comparisons to all the other Thompsons that came out this year, this for sure will be the lowest selling Thompson out of all of them. But again, the sheer lack of sales means it's a whole lot easier for it to rise up in price. And if this does end up being the cheapest Thompson, well, many people who hop back into the game, they probably just want a nice quick skin to grab to put on their Thompson. Maybe they like the design of this. Maybe this does get used. So consider this: how many of these do you reckon will be appearing on the Steam market? And if it's very low, how easy could it be bought out? How easy could it be in a situation where suddenly the lowest listing is probably like $4? And I'm not joking, that did happen a lot with last year. Many of the skins that you see here last year, well, actually, all of these skins that you see here that came out last year, at one point they were all in the negative. But then you saw many, like all of these skins around January 2023 time, at bare minimum, every single one of them was like above $5. Except Recycler, I do remember that one. But yeah, all of these, bare minimum, above $5. Even though at one point around October time, they were all in the negative. So, ooh. But I would point out, Recycler Thompson still went up to about $3+. So maybe the same could be said with the likes of that. All right. So I know that was a bit 50-50, but with a smart buy order, anything could be a profit. So, okay, we got that established. We understand now. Hope that was reasonably helpful. So, yeah, this is it. This is where we're starting to see all the rust skin prices go back up. Now, I think I'm going to probably have to do it today or tomorrow. I want to do a video in which I put all of my skins onto my main account, and from here and now, we'll see how much I sell over the course of the next 2 months. Because, of course, I'll be selling Christmas-themed skins during December and whatnot, and then about January time, I'm just go crazy and sell as much as I can. Within reason, Sell in batches of 5, ride the wave, don't try and block the wave with massive quantity walls and whatnot. You get the idea, you understand. So, cool. So, yeah, keep an eye on the skins. I've even noticed the likes of the weapon barrel. Whilst it was going down fairly low, you can see right here that it's actually stagnated with its price now, and only, like, from here and now, it can only go up, right? And that was the lowest point it's been in about 3 years. But even then, now it starts to go back up again. Ooh. So that's a good indicator that all Rust skins are now starting to go back up in price. Sounds good. So keep an eye on the player counts and whatnot. We're already noticing some gains. Very nice. You're not going to see a decent amount of players until maybe December. And of course, don't forget with Twitch Rivals in December, things are going to probably be even better. And then when you look at the workshop over here, we're noticing more and more streamer skins being made for potential Twitch drops. Here is Soulless SAR. Get a good look at that. Aim down a sight. It's all gold with a red tip right there on the aim sight. Bejeweled. Lovely. Extravagant. Exquisite and shiny. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So, yeah. Things are very optimistic at the moment. Don't forget, keep an eye on the likes of the commits page. Be up to date with all the new content. There's a shotgun. There's a shotgun that's going to get added to the game potentially next month. Yeah, the M4. So get a good look at that. Keep track of all of this over the course of the next month. And we might be fully aware of what potentially might be coming out for December and what new things might come out for Christmas this year. And with that, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Best of luck to you in your investments. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you soon.